All right, so how I married a DL man part 8. I'm trying to wrap this up, but I just keep remembering shit. So after all that happens, I'm asking him straight up questions. I'm asking him a bunch of questions. Are you Rainbow? Dude is telling me no. I've seen you full blown inserting yourself into another man. So, but he's saying no. And he keeps just saying like that was my past, that was my past. Meanwhile, there are numerous interactions of him interacting with people while he's married to me. As a matter of fact, one of the interactions, when he first got here, I didn't work for about a month and a half. The first day I went to work, he texts Ferris and asked Ferris if they could hang out. Ferris told him, "Oh, I don't have a car, so you're gonna have to send me an Uber." He's like, "No, I'll come get you." BB don't have no car, so I at that day I took the train because I was working in Manhattan. So whose car were you gonna come get him in? Ferris told him, "Oh, well, I'm celibate," and BB goes, "Well, it's no point of us linking right then, right?" That same day, I remember that his phone went dead for hours. Like there were a couple hours where I could not get in contact with him when I was trying to come home on the train, and I wasn't sure how I was gonna get home because he had my car. But this guy's like in denial, denying trying to convince me what I saw is not what I saw. Like he's not Rainbow and this, that, and third. And like the more we talk about this, the more like Rainbow his answers get. Like he's at this point a raging Rainbow person. Like at this point, at one point I'm questioning him, and he goes into like a whole like fit of like, "Look, I don't F like a bitch, okay?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't F like, and I don't get F like, so you don't want to do an abandon?" So at this point, my brain goes into full-blown, like, denial, I think. And every night I'm in this house, in the living room, balled up in the corner on the floor for, like, a week and a half, listening to, like, sad music and getting drunk for, like, probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm literally starting to become an alcoholic to cope, and I'm someone that doesn't really drink. When I was in the military and I worked as a medic, they told us about the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And I definitely went through all of them. So I'm in denial, but then the anger sets in and I start cussing this motherfucker out. Like I'm talking to him like dirt in here. I start pushing up on his homeboys. I send one of his homeboys a nude video of me because I just want to humiliate him at this point because I'm so embarrassed and so shocked. And I don't even know what to do with myself. Now around this time, one of my homegirls invites me to go to the beach. It happens to be Natalie's birthday week, but I'm going through all of this. Like, it's like one of the worst weeks of my life. But I'm glad that my friend invited me to the beach because I needed time away to like just clear my head. And the beach happened to be near Natalie's house. So Natalie's like, "Well, when you come this way, you can drop off my birthday gift." Now, I was surprised by this because I had bought Natalie birthday gifts 2 years in a row. I bought her like AirPods and some other thing the year before, and I bought her I gave her like $300 for her birthday before that. And I had never ever received a birthday gift from Natalie in my life. So I was shocked, especially given that she knew the situation that I was currently in. So I should have told her, "Well, you've never given me a gift." And I'm also in a very defensive space because I'm going through what I'm going through. She ends up making a statement along the lines of, like speaking like in a third part, like someone else said that they would expect me to give her a gift because of how she's been there for me in my life or something like that. Which to me was a shocking statement to make because what? And for two, because she's never given me a gift in my life. And the biggest thing is that I'm going through hell right now. So this is kind of like a selfish request when I'm going through hell right now. So I ended up texting her. I'm like, "Look, whatever you feel like I owe you for, just send me an itemized bill and I'll pay it." And I'm like, "Well, you've never given me a gift in my life." I'm like, "You buy your biological kids gift. You've never bought me one. So how can you expect a gift from me when you've never given me that?" She goes, "Well, I didn't raise you and you never lived with me," which is fair. It's both true. But then how can you expect a gift from me, especially when I'm going through one of the worst weeks of my life. So that whole thing just turned me off. Like, it was just weird, and me and her didn't talk after that. So I'm in the house going through it with her son. Now, mind you, on top of that, this dude has other issues. Like, he still is having his little mood swings, and then his hygiene is in hell. And I'm like experiencing some shit I ain't never experienced before. I'm doing laundry, and it literally looks like dude is wiping his ass with his drawers. I'm not talking about like skid marks. I'm talking about like, it looks like you used your underwear as a tissue. Piss and poop on the toilet. You don't clean nothing in here, so I'm doing all of the cleaning. Your feet literally stink every single day. And I learned it was because this dude was literally going for a run every day, taking a shower, and then putting the same socks that he ran 5 miles in back on. So let's count what's wrong with you. You're secretly trying to sleep with men. You have poor hygiene. You have no money, and you have a bad attitude. So, like I said, I was going through it at this time. But I'm like, you know what? Because I'm a goofy, as I keep saying. He asked me to go to therapy. I'm like, let's go to therapy. So we go to therapy. The therapist is honestly amazed by this dude. She's like, so this therapy is in September. In September, like beginning of September. I caught him in August. He's telling the therapist, oh, it was the past. The therapist's like, you're married. It was while you were married to her, and it was last month. That's not the past. That's literally this morning. He's saying in therapy, he's not rainbow. He's not rainbow. So I ask him, I'm like, let me ask you something. If someone else did all of the same things you did, would you consider them to be rainbow? And he goes, yeah. So then I go, if what you did isn't rainbow, what are the requirements to be rainbow? So he couldn't answer that. And I'm like, you want to know why you can't answer? Because if you answer, you'll realize you already met them. But time heals everything. And eventually things start to feel normal, although they're not. Because, like, again, I really think what ended up happening is that I started disassociating. Like, my brain just started shutting down. Like, my brain decided, like, this is not my life. So let me just remove myself from here. And I started running on autopilot. Like and comment for part 9. How I Married a DL Man part 10. And this is going to be the final part for a while because the saga is still continuing. So he's over there saying what he's saying. I get arrested. You could tell, like, the police don't want to take me, but they have no choice. Like, at this point, based on what he said on the line, which was whatever. He said a lot of things. So they take me to the station. I ended up handcuffed to a bench for about 7 hours at the police station, pregnant. So I call my sister, I call my uncle, and I call his uncle. Because at this point, like, I already know, dude, you're not going to tell the story. Like, you're not going to tell what you did. So at least, I don't know how long I'm going to be in jail for. I'm pregnant with your kid, but I'm going to tell everything that you did. Like, so I call his uncle. I tell his uncle everything. Like, bro, I caught him cheating with men. Like, I just wanted him to leave, whatever. And his uncle's like, well, he's not coming to our house. There needs to be repercussions for him getting you arrested. Like, everywhere he goes, there's a problem, blah, 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 blah. He's saying that that he's afraid that you're going to send people after him. And I'm like, send people after him? Send people after him for what? I just wanted him to leave my house. Dude was refusing to leave my house. That was the whole issue with the situation, was that he would not leave. So anyways, so I tell his uncle whatever, and I'm telling his uncle about, because I have everything, by the way, everything that I'm saying, I have footage of, but I'm not going to show it on here, because like I said, I wouldn't show it on here because it's obviously pornography, but the shit is still on my iPad, and it's an open court case. Or still on my phone, not my iPad. It's on my phone, and it's an open court case. But anyway, so I'm telling his uncle, like, I have footage or whatever, and he's like, bro, send me that. Like, that's crazy. So I get off the phone with him or whatever, and after I'm locked for 7 hours I'm chained to a bench for 7 hours pregnant. They then transport me to the county jail, my county jail. They take all my clothes and shit, put me in a little, like, seems like a Scrubs outfit. And I'm locked in a cell for 4 hours, freezing cold. Then they put me in a van, transport me to another county jail where I stay for the next, I don't even know how many hours. I don't get out So the incident, I got arrested at 9 a.m. on Thursday. I didn't get out till like 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. on Friday. So it's still an open court case. So now I'm thinking like, whatever, I get out, I get home. My sister was at my house taking care of my dog. She tells me the police came by with some papers for me. I'm like, what? So I'm like, papers. I'm thinking it's some papers that I left at the jail because they give you like your discharge papers or whatever. But I'm like, that's weird that they would come. So his uncle had asked me to see the footage. So I let him see the footage. So like next thing I know, his mom sends me a copy of a restraining order and was like, he's mad that you showed his uncle the footage or whatever. And like whatever. By this time, I had not been served with any restraining order, so I didn't know nothing about no restraining order. But so I'm like, this dude got me arrested while I'm pregnant with his kid, all because he refused to leave my home after getting caught being DL. He has a fucked up attitude, poor hygiene. He just all around is not a good person. And then he came back from New York to Jersey to double down by filing a restraining order. Mind you, in the restraining order, it's all types of lies. In the restraining order, he says that I called my uncle and said, oh, Malik's wildin', handle him. Bro, this is not New Jack City. First of all, my uncle don't work for me. Like, he's not my soldier. Handle him is something crazy. Like, for one thing, I'm 37, not 57. Malik's wild and handle him is not something someone in my, like, who says some shit like that? What the fuck are you talking about? Then it said that I threatened him with physical violence. That's all types of nonsense in this restraining order. So like at this point, I feel like dude is like a raging rainbow person. Like he is just angry that he's rainbow and he is liable to bring harm to myself, my child, and the people around me. So I went to the police station and I filed my own restraining order because like you're unhinged, bro. And it's clear you don't give a fuck about me. You don't give a fuck about my kid. So yeah, for right now, the saga's on pause. I'm still pregnant. I'm still taking care of myself, awaiting the arrival of my child. We are still legally married. I am waiting on that because, sir, I don't know if you noticed, but your ass going on child support. Because there's no way like you're not. And I don't want any questions about paternity if I get a divorce right now. So I'm not getting a divorce right now. And that's just that on that. But yeah. Y'all be safe out here, y'all. It's real spooky. Okay, y'all. I had to take a break. So how I married a DL man, part 7. So I hang up with James and I'm sitting there in shock, right? And I'm just thinking about how much I put myself out there for this motherfucker. Like, when he showed up here with a raggedy suitcase full of a bunch of nonsense. Every pair of sneakers, he had like 4 pairs of sneakers. Every pair of sneakers was leaning, I mean. He had about, like, the teeth were in terrible shape. It looked like he hadn't had a cleaning since he was born. And I'm not even saying this to play, dude. I'm telling you what it is so you can understand my pain. Because obviously this is somebody that I believe that I love and somebody that I married. So it's not in any way to like try to play him. This is the truth. He didn't have a coat. Winter was coming. So I spent my cash, got him a dentist appointment, pushed him to get a job. The job wasn't that he interviewed for that wanted to hire him, wasn't calling him back. Pushed him to harass them till they gave him a start date. Revamped his shoes. Like, he loves Yeezys. Started helping him to revamp his Yeezys. Try to get him like some decent clothing. His birthday came. Like, I hooked him up for his birthday. Like, mind you, how he sold me in this marriage was like, I have every intention to be a great husband. Like, in my previous relationship, I destroyed that relationship. Like, I know better than to make any mistakes ever again. Like, I'm going to take care of my babies and you included because you're my baby too. I'm like toting him back and forth to these appointments. He didn't have a car when he got here. So he's driving my Mercedes around for whatever he needs. And I realized despite me knowing his family for so long or whatever, I have no idea who this person is. So I'm instantly like, I go into shock. I'm asking him like, do you have Grindr? How are you meeting people here in this area? He's like, no, I don't have Grindr or whatever because the Ferris guy whose bussy he was staring at in my house, is in Jersey. I'm like, how did you meet this person? He's like, I knew him from before. Like, I don't have Grindr. So I'm like, give me your phone. He's objecting. He's like, no, no. I'm like, give me the phone. I swear to God, like, you have to leave. Either give me the phone or you got to go. And I'm telling everyone. So he's like, fine. He gives me his phone. So I'm looking through. I'm seeing all types of shit in this phone. I'm seeing paragraphs of text. I'm seeing text messages. I'm seeing all types of stuff. And I'm like, my mind can't even process it. I stop looking and I walk off. I'm hysterical. I'm crying. Like, I'm like broken because I can't. It's not even, honestly, it ain't even about the gay part for me. It's the fact that some of this stuff was being done in my crib. Like, so his reasoning is, well, it's my past. It's my past. Like it's things that I did before you, whatever. But it's videos of you doing this shit in my house. So like, I'm distraught. I can't even think straight. So I think he goes to work. I'm not sure what happens, but somehow like I end up on the phone with his mom. And I'm telling her what I saw. And she's like, so when I first saw the text messages of Alejandro or whatever, and the other guy, she was like, I think he's like, whatever. Like, I think he's rainbow. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't even care if if he was like, you know, rainbow for pay before, like as long as he doesn't, because now I'm like, she don't know we married at this point. So I'm already like trying to rationalize it in my head, right? I'm trying to rationalize certain stuff. So I'm like, if he was that before or whatever, like whatever. So I want to say he goes to work. He's working at this time. And so he's like, babe, I don't want to lose you. Like, I fucked up. I'm sorry, whatever. Like, can we work this out? Whatever. I'm so in shock, and we're married. Like, that's the part that I couldn't get my head away from. Like, we're married. He's like, we can do therapy. Like, obviously there are some things I need to deal with. We can do therapy, whatever. So I have my iPad here, and I'm like, the only way I would even consider this, you have to log into your Apple ID from your iCloud from my iPad, and I need to be able to monitor. I need to be able to really look in here and see what, because I don't trust you. I don't know who you are. So he logs into the iPad, and I start looking once I think he goes to work or something. I see videos with full penetration. I see videos of him looking at the same dude Ferris's pussy, a different video while he's, you know. I see videos of him on top of a guy doing whatever to him, and he's like, do you want me to stop? And the guy's like, yes, sir. Or no, I'm sorry, no, sir. In the videos of full penetration, I see size 15. We're not talking about the dolls. We're not talking about transgenders. Like, he's full-blown interacting with full-blown Chicago Bears linebackers. Like, it's a big white man, a low cut, size 15 feet in the air, playing with himself, a full beard, and he's going to town in this guy's little shooter. Then he turns this big burly linebacker man over, and he's doing what he's doing from behind, and then gets down and eats the groceries and puts his face in the camera. At this point, I'm mortified, because I'm like, you are like, what is this? Like, you're full-blown rainbow. Like, mind you, I wish it was one of the dolls. I wish it was some of the dolls, but it was multiple different men, and every one of them looked like a man. Like, nobody was trans. Everyone was a full-blown man. Not to mention, there was not a condom in sight. So I'm hysterical. I need to talk to somebody. I'm upset. I need to talk to somebody. So I talked to his mom, and I'm telling her what I saw. And like, she was kind of like, when I told her about the text messages, the first text messages, she was warning me, like, I'm telling you, like, at that point, you need to open your eyes. He's full blown. Like, she's telling me, she's like, if you saw that, it goes further. And I'm like, no, I believe him. I'm making excuses for him. Goofy. And I'm telling her, like, she's like, put him out. I'm like, no, I'm worried about his sobriety, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. So when I see the full blown everything, I'm telling her, she's like, I wanted you to see that because you have to open your eyes. Like, you need to get out of this. So I'm like, I'm in denial. I'm so delusional at this point. and I'm in denial. I'm like, well, maybe we can work through this. Maybe it's something that, maybe it's remnants from his drug addiction. He got sober, blah, blah, blah. But I realized now that, like, I was just in shock, and it was a trauma response. Like, because, like, I just couldn't wrap my head around this. Also, so another thing is, obviously he doesn't know how phones work really well. So also him giving me access to the iCloud gave me access to all his apps. So he didn't have Grindr on his phone, but something told me just download it and see if his Apple ID has his password saved. And that bitch came up. Dude was on Grindr, laying next to me in bed in the morning, soliciting men on Grindr, asking men if they shaved, telling men he couldn't wait to put his face in their pussy, all types of stuff, like a full-blown nightmare. Like I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. And I didn't have anyone to talk to, so I was talking to his mom, because at this point, I trusted her because I knew, for one, it's your son. So you probably too embarrassed to tell anybody this about your own son anyway. And for two, I had such a close relationship with her already. Like, I felt like I could confide, and like she's like kind of talking me through. All right, y'all, I need another break. Like and comment for part 8. How I Married a DL Man, part 9. So at this point, like, every time I think of a question to ask him, I ask him. So I'm like asking him questions every 5 seconds. Like, I'm asking him, like, how many men you been with? Dude is telling me he doesn't even know how many men he been with. I'm asking him because at this point, he's the one recording all of these interactions. So obviously you're really enjoying it because you want to remember it. That's why there are numerous recordings. And one of the recordings, as a matter of fact, he was naked walking around, and a hand reaches in, grabs his meat, and he's getting ready to turn the camera, and the person says they don't want to be on camera. And he goes, I'm not going to put you on camera, but it's clearly a man. Another thing is, I ain't find one woman in that phone. Not one. I scoured. I was hoping to find a woman in that phone. So I'm like, again, like, I disassociated. I'm disoriented because I know what it is, but I'm still in denial, right? So at this point, I'm like, fuck it. Like, all I wanted was my baby anyway. Like, I'm married. Like, I'm not going to go through the process going through a divorce. I know this man's family, even though he's not shit. Like, I know his family. I'm going to take my baby and go. So I'm like, look, we're just going to move forward with the baby plan. Y'all, just bear with me. Goofy, right? But there's one catch. Up until this point, he has not been able to have an explosion from us having relationships. Okay? When I asked him, because I kept questioning, like, what is this about? He would say, oh, because I had an addiction for so long, it's hard for me to stay focused enough to finish. So that was before I caught him. That was what he was telling me. So after I catch him, I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's turned on by the idea of, like, or he felt like he needed to perform. But all of a sudden, after I catch him, he's able to do this. He's able to have a full explosion while doing this with me. So we try for 2 months, and I end up pregnant. But my mind is like mush at this point. Like, I've mind fucked myself so much. Like, I'm in here actually trying to convince myself this is a normal marriage. I'm cooking every day, doing laundry, cleaning, handling all his business affairs. Like, this is a real thing. Now, what I will say is, when he was working, he was giving me majority of his paychecks, but he was spending as much as he was giving me. So, like, even though he would give me, let's say he'd give me $1,000 in a paycheck, but then he'd buy a coat that cost $2,000 and have to pay me back. It would be like that. So now I found out I'm pregnant, and, like, I'm thinking I had disassociated or whatever. So I'm thinking, like, everything's fine, but everything's not fine. So when I get pregnant, about 3 weeks into it, all of a sudden my mind starts working differently, right? As a matter of fact, we're going to go back. So before I found out I was pregnant, me and Natalie hadn't spoken. So one day, like, he had a court case in Virginia, right? So I had taken him to Virginia for the court case, and they ended up keeping him for 10 days. He was in jail for 10 days for this court case. So I ended up coming back to get him or whatever. he had to go back to work and just try to jump into life. Now, while he was in jail, I put money on his books, on his commissary. I made sure he had everything that he needed. I put money on individual people's numbers, like my number, his mom's number, so he could call people or whatever, and so on and so forth. But when he got out of jail, I guess things were hectic or whatever, and he didn't call his mom. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know why he wasn't calling her specifically, but he wasn't calling her. So we're laying in bed one morning, and he was like, yo, my mom just texted me, and he shows me the text. And the text is like, I'm going to wrap it up because I don't remember verbatim what it said, but it said something along the lines of, I remember one part distinctly, but it was like, pretty much like, I can't believe that you're allowing Jennifer to make you not talk to me, because at this point, me and her weren't talking. I can't believe you're allowing Jennifer to make you not talk to me. She doesn't know what it's like to have a mother because she's never had one, and so on, and she goes on from there. Now, at this point, I'm in shock because even though like me and her hasn't spoken, it's certain things that are a low blow. You know what I mean? Now, keep in mind, I don't realize it, but at the time, I had already entered in full-blown depression from being in this situation. So I read that. He shows it to me. I read it. And I get on my phone and I just cuss her out. I say everything negative that I could think of about her. I drag her by her pinky toe because like I just can't believe unprovoked that you would say something like that. You know what I mean? So anyways, fast forward, like I said, we're pregnant. Now my brain starts working differently. Now I'm overanalyzing every single thing that's happening in here. I don't know. I guess it's like pregnancy brain, but like I'm panicking. I'm concerned. Every day I'm thinking about like, what am I doing? Like this man is not equipped to be a father. Like, what did I get myself into? And then a couple of things happened that was the final straw. First off, one morning I wake up and I get a phone call from my tenant at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I answer the phone. I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, do you know that your car door is open? I'm like, open? What do you mean open? She's like, not unlocked. Your car door is just opened. So I'm like, my car door is open. Dude left my car door open all night long where it rained in my car. So again, my like pregnancy brain, I'm like, bro, this is the type of nigga that will leave your baby on top of the car and pull off. This is the type of nigga that will leave your baby in the backseat all day. Like, I'm shook. I'm concerned. Mind you, he was the main one pushing for family and baby. I want my child. I want my child. He already picked out names and stuff, so he kept pushing for a baby. So now we're pregnant, and I'm having really, really bad gas, right? I'm having really, really bad gas one night, and I'm Googling, and Google's telling me all these different positions that you could do, like for gas. One of them is like you could have someone push your knees to your chest. So I asked him to help me push my knees to my chest. I'm pregnant with his child, mind you. He goes, ugh, like, all right, with an attitude. And I'm like, what? And then he's like, look, I have to go to sleep soon. Now, mind you, a nigga with a fucked up attitude who can't hardly pay a bill, who you caught being DL, who you are now pregnant by for the kid that he asked you for, is now, who has bad hygiene, is now getting an attitude because you're asking him for help to deal with the pain that you're experiencing from carrying his child. That was the breaking point for me. That night, I asked him if he could sleep on the couch. I never slept in the bed with him ever again, and I asked him to leave. I reached out to his mom, asked his mom if he could come home. She said yes, and he agreed to leave. But for whatever reason, this dude kept stalling leaving. Like, he said his mom was coming to get him that night at 8 p.m. For whatever reason, she never came. He claimed that she fell asleep or something, and that's why she couldn't come, but she was going to send him a lift. Then in the morning, he claims, oh, you know, she couldn't send him a lift. She was going to come get him at 5 p.m. So I start losing it because now I feel like you're playing, and we have this huge argument. I'm saying fucked up shit to him. He's saying fucked up shit to me. We going back and forth. I'm telling him straight up, like, honestly, I don't even really want you around my kid. Like, you weird. I'm like, bro, and I don't even want my kid having your last name. Like, he's saying fucked up shit to me. He's saying I'm going to beat every nigga ass that you bring around my kid, all types of shit. Then he proceeds to take his shirt off, and he's walking through my house with his shirt off like a tough guy, talking about, you can call any nigga here that you need to call, blah, 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 whatever. A couple of things happened in between time, but that's the only reason I'm not going to go into detail is because it's still an open court case right now. I'm not going to go past that. So dude literally has a suspended 1-year jail sentence on his head right now. He also has a prior domestic violence case on his record. So rather than call the police on him, I choose to call my family for help because I'm like, this dude is in here wilding. I don't know what he about to do. He's doing the most. So I call my family for help. This whole time, I'm asking him to just leave. Just leave. Just leave. He's refusing to leave. I'm like, bro, you've done enough. Just leave. He's refusing to leave. When I call my family and ask my family for help, after he did all of that shit, all that whatever, call whatever nigga you want, taking off his shirt, looking at me aggressively, walking back and forth here, he then gets on the phone with his grandmother and goes, she called her uncle to hurt me. Changes his tone of voice and everything. And I'm like, bro, this dude is a fucking nutcase. Needless to say, an altercation happens. He calls the police on me. And I get arrested, pregnant with his child. When the police get here, like I said, knowing he had all the shit he had going on with him, I stand tall. I don't say anything incriminating about him because I know if I do, they're going to take him for a minimum of a year. But this nigga is out there just saying all types of shit to police. And I ended up arrested. Like and comment for part 10. So I thought the last part was the final part, but this just in. So I was posting my TikToks, minding my damn business in my world. And I get this text from Natalie at about 4. Now, the last time I spoke to Natalie, her son tried to contact me during the course of him having a restraining order, me having a restraining order against him. And I told her not to tell him not to contact me. Otherwise, I would put him in jail for a year. So I'm minding my business, posting my TikToks, and I get this text from her. The first text. Hey, I see your TikToks, and I may not agree with you airing BB out like that, but this is your truth, and you told not one lie so far up to part 7. I'm sorry that you guys didn't listen to me, but I pray for both of you dearly. May God protect that child from all of this. I can't believe this is going on between two people that I love so deeply. I still pray for peace. I hearted it, but honestly, I wasn't really interested in an interaction, so I didn't even respond to that. So what changed, you may ask? Well, in 8, 9, and 10, what changed is that I exposed what she did. And so now I got a different text. I'll read that one. I pray you found what you were looking for through social media. It's sad. Unfortunately, this baby will not be able to enjoy this side of the family. This is beyond messy. I will continue to pray for us all. My response was, can you stop texting me about this? I don't care about that side of the family. I'm cool with never talking to y'all again. Your son is a monster and you're not great either. Now, I don't know what level. Now, I was delusional, but I don't know what level of delusion that side of the family is, but don't threaten me with a great time. I don't give a fuck if I never talk to none of y'all ever the fuck again. And my recommendation is going to be, if you don't like being exposed for being fucked up to people, then don't be fucked up to them. Because I didn't tell not one lie through 1 through 7, and I didn't tell not one lie through 8 through 10. Every single thing I said happened. You were just mad once you got thrown into it because you were shady and grimy. That's unfortunate. Be better. People are so fucking fake, bro. Like, so fake. This just in, y'all. So I received a very interesting series of DMs today. Do y'all remember James from the story? James was the gentleman initially that called and finally exposed to me that him and BB were sleeping together, and he's the first one to like just come out and say it. So I received an interesting DM, and I'm going to read it to you. Girl, I watched your entire story, and halfway through I realized I know the James BB was talking to, and I remember hearing about BB being crazy to him for a really long time. I'm so sorry you went through this. That man is evil. So at first I couldn't believe it. I just thought it was somebody like on social media trying to be funny. So I sent those eyes and I said, you do? Wait, describe him, because I know exactly what he looks like. The reason I know what he looks like is BB had recorded a domestic dispute that they were having, and it came to the iPad. So like in the dispute, like James was calling the police on him, and then BB was like trying to get into, like, BB was being aggressive with him. It was like, so you gonna call the police on me just because I'm a black man, da 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 da. But James was on one of the videos, so I knew exactly what James looks like. The person says, James, he's white with curly hair. I say, how about his build? The person says, I remember he told us BB's wife called him and I was shocked he had a wife. He's like skinny, not fat, medium size. I say, yes, that's him. I saw videos in BB's phone where he recorded James calling the police on him for threatening him and whatever else. He's a monster. James was really nice when I spoke to him, and I was grateful because he was the first one to tell me the truth. The person says, yeah, BB was always crazy. The wife part was truly the cherry on top. I am so fucking sorry. My heart goes out to you and your child. James is a good person. He would have never done anything with him if he knew he had a wife. He terrorized you both. A lot of my friends are gay, and the amount of DL men are like this is heart. And the person says heartbreaking. I hope you know you are not alone or crazy. It happens, and I'm really proud of you for posting it and spreading awareness. I said he wasn't married to me yet when he was dealing with James, but he was pursuing me. We rushed into marriage and I was stupid, but I've known BB since we were kids. I know his whole family, so I trusted him, but he's had a screw loose since we were kids, so I should have known better. The person says, you're human, girl. Give yourself some grace. You had a crazy upbringing too, and that stuff manifests into our childhood. Don't be so hard on yourself. Seriously, I watched the entire thing and I felt no judgment towards you. I hope you can find a good therapist that can help you work through this. I hope you know I'll be praying for you and your baby. I said, thank you so much. The person said, of course. So we found James, y'all. I could have got in contact with James on my own because, like I said, I've reached out to James before. Ferris, all of them. But it's interesting to hear someone else's perspective that's from the outside looking in and from someone else's side in the situation. But yeah, I guess this situation going to keep on keeping on. Let's see who else I hear from. Well, I've honestly heard from a lot of people, some which I won't tell. But this one I thought was very interesting. So let's see where this goes from here. So I'm waking up the morning after posting my story and I see a lot of questions, a lot of comments. I have a lot of DMs and I just wanted to answer a few unanswered questions. The first is whether or not he was tested or I was tested. I absolutely made him get tested as soon as I saw what he was doing. And so as soon as I decided I wanted to just move forward and have the baby. I myself have also been tested multiple times, especially being pregnant. And we both were negative, fortunately. Also, there's another question of, you slept with him after that? Trust me, it was no easy task. Okay? Literally, every time this man would reach for me, I would tense up or cringe. We would only sleep together during ovulation, and it was, like I said, a task. Someone asked about Ferris. So I ended up speaking to Ferris on the phone, shortly after I spoke to James, and I spoke to, and I went through the iPad to see everything that I saw. I actually called Ferris, from the iPad, and I had a conversation with him. Ferris was very down to earth. He was like, wait a minute, that was your dog and your house that he was showing me, talking about I got a new house and a new dog. Also, Ferris sounded young. We're in our 30s. I'm 37. Ferris clearly was 20. So I was like, how old are you? And Ferris said he was, I think, 22 or 21. And he was like, but I've been talking to BB since I was in high school. When I confronted BB about it, about that, he was like, he's lying, blah, 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 but you can't trust anything this motherfucker says, so who knows? And then BB goes to me, you're over here talking to him as if he wouldn't be with me if he had the chance. And I thought that was the most rainbow shit I had ever heard. I'm like, are you trying to make me insecure about other men? Ferris also said that he kept asking BB, are you rainbow? Are you rainbow? And BB kept telling him, I'm not rainbow. I'm just attracted to femininity. And Ferris was said he was yeah, but I'm a man. Child, I don't know. Someone bought up OnlyFans and I forgot. So one of the apps I discovered when I was going through his phone in front of him after he was up and everything was OnlyFans. And I was like, you have OnlyFans? And I tried to go into it. It was the only thing that I asked about. It was the final thing I asked about before he took his phone. And the only thing I asked about, that he snatched his phone and walked off and then came back and was like, fine, you can go through my OnlyFans. Lord knows what he deleted by then. Lord knows what was on that OnlyFans. I imagine it was probably a wild situation. All in all, for any of those who are saying the signs were there, the red flags were there, this, that, and the third. The disclaimer I gave at the very, very beginning of me telling this story,
I'm aware. Like I said, I gave a disclaimer very early on saying that I'm aware that there are a bunch of moments that I was clearly being a goofy, and throughout me telling the story, I pointed out where I was being a goofy. So there's no, you guys aren't holding me accountable for anything, because that was the purpose of me saying that. I'm aware, like I'm out of the dream, I'm out of the haze, and I'm ready to take accountability and accept my part in not being more aware and smarter in this situation. And at this point, I just want to move forward for myself and my child and make better decisions. And yeah, like I'm not a perfect person. I never claimed to be a perfect person. And I tried my best. And that's all I can tell you. Also, I don't think that people understand the timeline. Like, I don't know if people understand that this all happened within a 5-month period. And this just happened. Like, I was just in jail last Thursday. I married him in July, caught him full blown at the end of August, went to therapy with him all of September, once a week, was delusional October and November, and the beginning of December snapped the fuck out of it. So I had about 3 solid months, 2.5 to 3 solid months of being full blown delusional. And I take full accountability for that. You know, I'm not making any excuses. But anyways, like I said, all I can do from here is take accountability and be better. Another thing I kept seeing is like, oh, desperation, 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 desperation to be married. I've been engaged 3 times. My most recent fiance, after hearing about this, is actually in my text messages right now telling me if there's anything I need to reach out to him, whatever. I will say this was not a matter of desperation. I don't believe this was a matter of stupidity. And this was a matter of being delusional due to familiarity. I literally believe because I had such a close relationship with this boy's mom that like I was just overlooking shit. No, I've called your mom my mom for 20 plus years. There's no way like you could be evil. Like it was stupid and goofy. But I can assure you I'm not hard pressed for eggplant, I guess. I've actually picked up some new hoes since. I am waiting to date anybody, like, but you know, I have my little friends that bring me food and like check up on me through the day, but I am gonna wait until I am healed before I start dating or taking anyone seriously or doing any of that. But you know, peen ain't hard to come by, y'all. I promise you it ain't. Like I could reach my hand out the window and catch who said that? Drew Alfalo. I don't remember her name, but I could reach my hand out the window and catch a penis by accident. Like it's not hard to come by. So yeah, anyways, y'all, have a great day. Thank you for listening to my story. Morning, y'all. It's update time. So as y'all know, James has entered the chat, which I wasn't expecting because James, I believe, lives in Miami. And I didn't think these videos honestly would reach that far. It was just me telling I didn't think it would reach that far. So me and him got to chatting in the messages because the only thing I knew about James was what he told me when he called and the video that I saw of him calling the police on BB. So I was pretty much asking him like what happened, why he ended up calling the police, what went wrong, what his experience was. And he messaged me explaining. So here we go. I had already asked him the questions I wanted to know in the comments. So I DM'd him, like we followed each other and then I DM'd him. I followed him, he followed me back, and then I messaged him and I said, James, I have questions. He said, hi, boo. OMG, I was not expecting this. Firstly, I want to say I'm sorry to hear what you're went through with BB. I can only imagine what it was like living with him. The man was actually so horrible to me. Secondly, I want to wish you a congratulations and healthy pregnancy and ask you to please take care of yourself right now. When you called that night, I so badly wanted to tell you to run. I just didn't know how to contact you and what state of mind you were in and if you were safe. I had called the cops on him because he was threatening to beat me up after I told him to leave my house because he was throwing a temper tantrum, which I'm sure you witnessed. He was literally verbally abusive and I tolerated it for so long. Threatening with physical violence was my final straw and he literally was refusing to leave. Mind you, my roommates were all home and had to witness the whole thing. I'm only 20, 19 at the time, I think, and I just was not expecting a grown-ass man to get so crazy with me. Then he tried to gaslight the whole situation. Like, bitch, I know what you said and what I said. I'm young and dumb and make mistakes, but as a grown man, he should have never treated me the way he did. Literally every little thing I did, he would scream at me, and it almost every time led to the threat of hitting me after that. Sorry, not trying to rant. Just so many things I wanted to say to you. You're literally a survivor, and I'm so glad you're fucking out. Then he said, sorry, that's so long. Hey. I said, oh, okay, let me read. No, I'm so glad you're saying something. I knew you had a horror story because I experienced him. I know he's a terrible person. You don't even have to tell me. So you were 19, 20, and how old was he acting like this? How old was he acting like this? James says, yes, he met me when I was 19. We were on and off the whole time hanging out. He told me he was younger at first, but then admitted he was 33 or something like that. I responded, so he was in my house and things were okay at first, and then all of a sudden he just started throwing hissy fits for every little thing. At one point, I was walking on eggshells and my nerves were starting to be shot. Then I went through his phone the night I spoke to you, and I realized this dude is fighting some serious demons. Till this day, he's saying he's not Rainbow. 33 is crazy though, because he was 33 when me and him got together. So this just happened to you. I'm so sorry. He's sick. Did the police ever show up? So again, like I said, my whole entire situation, from me talking to this guy, to us getting married, to me finding all of this out, confirming all of this, to me getting pregnant and to me getting arrested is all a 5-month span. All of that happened within 5 months. So also within that 5 months, he turned 34, just to give a little context. So James responds, like, I actually can only imagine. Literally, he's nuts. I still cannot wrap my head around how you managed to live with him. That must have been so difficult. I also had no clue he wasn't out. He always told me he was bi. And yes, this literally just happened months ago. I don't remember when exactly the police thing happened. I know when it happened because I have the date stored. But the police showed up like an hour later. He was gone. And then I just told them what happened. They handed me a DV pamphlet and left. And somehow I ended up feeling bad for calling because of how he manipulates things. But now that I'm out of the situation, obviously I know I made the right move. The man is so unpredictable. And for this man to say he was doing it for money is obviously insane. Never got a dime from me, but was begging to sleep over and hang out like every day. I responded with, I saw the messages and he was like professing his feelings to you. And I was like, what? That's why I'm so glad you called back from a different number. But I'm not going to lie. After that night, I went into shock and depression, and it took me months to get out of it because I couldn't believe how stupid I had been. Not the begging to hang out every day, though. So now I understand. He went to Miami so he could finally be out. James responded, I'm so sorry to hear that, but I'm hoping you feel better. You are not stupid. You are totally valid for everything you feel and went through. I understand what it's like. It has nothing to do with desperation or feeling like he was the only one we could get. Like you said, we can put our hand out the window and catch one. He always tried to make me feel like I was less than or not good enough. He does that because he wants us to feel attached. You are absolutely stunning and are clearly very level-headed. I can tell even from that brief phone call we had. I was shocked at how kind and normal you were. Honestly, it made me feel better. I was like, thank God I'm not crazy. But yeah, I used to feel sorry for him, but there's just no excuse for this behavior. And to me, that was one of the most telling things that James said, because I realized, like, when you trauma bond with someone, you feel so sorry for them to the point of your own detriment sometimes. Like, you almost want to, like, you put your cape on when you shouldn't. A goofy. Well, that's what I felt like anyway. But James has been very comforting because talking to him did make me feel better. I responded with, I usually would never entertain a person like him, but me knowing his whole family is what made me put my guard down, and he just immediately started pushing marriage, which now I realize was only because he knew he wouldn't be able to keep up the act for very long. I'm not an irrational person, but he reels you in, and before you know it, you start to lose yourself. But for you, I understand your side because you literally knew nothing. So he probably was on his best behavior, and then before you knew it, you were sleeping with the enemy. James responded, girl, exactly, girl, you get it, and I get you. That's an evil man. He needs to be posted somewhere to stay away. I said, well, I'm glad you got out of it. I'm just going to try my best to maneuver. We're going to court right now for the exact same thing you went through with him. I asked him to leave my house, and he started losing it and then got aggressive with me and then called the police. I'm going to court next week to try to finalize a restraining order against him. I have a temporary one now. James said, okay, good. I'm glad to hear that you're taking action. Such a fucking headache. But hopefully it'll be over soon. I'm wishing you the best. Kick his ass in court, boo, and I'm here if you need anything. And then
afterward, I asked him if I could share this.
So yeah, y'all, at this point, I'm glad I spoke to James. I'm glad I have his testimony. And I just, at this point, Ferris is in Jersey. Ferris gave me his Instagram and gave me his phone number when we talked. But I was so in a haze at that point in time. I didn't even write anything down or keep anything, and I don't remember it. But Ferris lives in Jersey, and he would also be very helpful. Please, if y'all could like, share, comment, help me find Ferris in Jersey. I have a couple clues. This is Ferris's face, y'all. I hope Ferris is not mad at me for using this. I didn't have anything else, and this was the only image of Ferris's face. I believe this is Ferris. This is the only image of Ferris's face that I could find. Ferris, please don't kill me. I was just trying to find you. And then this is his Avi for when he FaceTimes. I believe this is the background of his home. I took from the video when BB was like to him. So if y'all could help me track down Ferris, because he would be very, very helpful as well, especially with this whole court thing. All right, y'all. Keep y'all updated if anything else happens, y'all. So on today's episode of What the Fuck Is My Life, there's been a new development. Last night, I'm in the house and I received this text message from someone from my past. Hey, I know we didn't leave off on good terms, and I was just checking to see how you're doing. I'd just been thinking about having a family lately, and you came to mind. And if you got something going on, I mean no disrespect. I just had to let you know how I felt. Happy New Year's, beautiful. You're a queen. I don't know why I wasn't able to see that early. I sent back, I'm about to file for divorce. He says, what you mean? You got married? I said, yes, I'm married. He says, doesn't mean I don't have a chance with you. Sorry for the typo. Does that mean I don't have a chance with you even though you get a divorce? Then he says, sorry, my phone, something about his phone. Does that mean I don't have a chance with you? I wasn't responding back right away because I'm just processing like, what the hell's going on? To give a background on this guy has his own house. He is a nurse practitioner. We dated for a couple years. He drives an Audi, has his own practice. Like, y'all, I don't know why y'all think I'm desperate. I ain't never been desperate. I'm one of them ones. I done dated some. If I tell y'all my dating history, it's just that, like I said, the reason I got caught up with BB is the familial connection. Like, I really believed, like, and I think, like I said, my childhood wanted to heal him. Like, my childhood me wanted to heal him. But yeah, I ain't never had a hard time pulling anybody. Like, I don't know why the desperation thing is even a thing. Like, it had nothing to do with that. Anyways, he says, his loss, you're super dope. I say, I'm going to be honest, you're probably too late. I'm 2 months pregnant and I'm about to file for divorce because I caught my husband cheating with men. Things are complicated and I'm sure you want someone with a clean state. He says, I understand time waits for no one. Regardless of your situation, if you need me, I'm here. You're smart, charismatic. Most importantly, your heart is always in the right place. So I'm sure you'll get through this. What I meant to say was time waits for no one. So I understand. Although I wish I was the father because I know you'll make a great mother. Now, a lot of y'all have been saying, get rid of it, and it's just for me, even though I'm within the time frame to get rid of it, I'm very early in my pregnancy. My conscience just won't let me do it. I am 37 years old, like at my big age, walking into a clinic to do that when I made a choice and I planned a pregnancy. It just doesn't feel right or fair. I know a lot of y'all don't agree. Y'all like, girl, if you don't get rid of it and go settle down with your damn near doctor and build a life. But I just, something in me can't do it. Now, I told him pretty much like, if being a stepfather is something that you're interested in, like I'm interested in like getting remarried and having more kids in maybe 2 years. He's 38, I'm 37. Maybe 2 years, maybe even a year and a half, because I've known him for some years. But right now, my focus, like I said, is just me healing and my child. So we'll see, y'all. The saga continues. When I tell you, like, my life's crazy. I don't know, like, if y'all know, like, if y'all have been figuring out, like, I've had a crazy, wild life. Anyways, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day.
So, y'all, this is legitimately the James. This is James that I called from BB's phone. Legitimately, this is James. Hey James, we might need to go live or something, boo. But you lost weight. Not you losing weight since the video that I seen of you in that man's phone. Body's looking a little T. But yeah, like we might need to go live because some shit done went down and motherfuckers is like, I don't know if people believe that this actually happened to me. Like
So on my last post, I didn't give y'all enough information about the guy that texted me. So we're going to call him the doctor. So the doctor and I have been on and off for a couple of years, right? Like we were on and off for a couple of years. Last time I saw him was 2021. In that time, he does this checking on you thing. So the last time I saw him was November 2021. He texted me, "Good evening. I was just checking on you. I don't know if you underwent that procedure. I just wanted to make sure you are okay." What procedure? I'm not sure what procedure. Oh, I do know what procedure. We're going to get into that later. And he got back in, and then he said, "So I'll cook," and I said, "So I'll cook Saturday." So I guess he got back in. We must have hung out again or whatever. And the doctor always gave very Mr. Big from Sex and the City energy, like always. Like it was always a very like weird on and off thing. Like I never fully understood what his issue was. So I drew up my own conclusion, like maybe this guy has a girl somewhere, maybe this guy but I never like he just always seemed off. So I cut him off. Like that's what I would always do. I would always talk to him for a couple months or deal with him for a couple months and then cut him off because like I felt like he wasn't all the way there. He texted me after I cut him off in November and said, "Just wanted to wish you a happy Thanksgiving." I said, "Thank you, happy Thanksgiving." Nothing to it. I remember this conversation. He said, "Can you talk?" January of 2022. We spoke on the phone, and I pretty much told him to get the hell out of my face. Then December 1st, 2023, he hit me up again and said, "Just wanted to say hi. I hope you're doing well." So this is something that he does, just this checking thing. I didn't even see this. I guess I saw it very, very late, like a month later. I don't know what I was doing. And I said, "I'm just realizing you sent this," and I never responded. "Say hi to your girl, bro. Stop hitting me up every couple years with this nonsense." He said, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you in any way. I was in your area and you came to mine, so I was just checking on you." I said, "I'm not upset, just not interested. I don't need to be checked on. I'm fine." Despite the situation I'm in, I don't be playing with these dudes. Like, honestly, like, I'm so shocked that I'm in this situation because like literally childhood trauma mixed with a familiar face, mixed with like trauma bonding, mixed with a narcissist is just a recipe for disaster. So like I'm shocked, but I always speculated like his mind was somewhere else, like something else. So that's why like I never really took him seriously because I'm like, I feel like you're all over the place. So last night when he texted me after the last thing I posted that he texted me, I said, "So what was the real deal with you? What was the real deal with you now that everything's in the open? Were you married or something? Had a girlfriend?" He said, "Of course I dated here and there. I got engaged, call it off. Until I came to the realization that other people can't make you happy. You have to make yourself happy. So I went on this journey of celibacy and somewhat self-healing. Mostly focused on myself. I was in a dark place, suffered from a little depression. By the power of my ancestors and by God, I was able to find peace within myself." I said, "Well, that's good. I'm glad you find peace. So you were dating this person you got engaged to while you were seeing me, I'm guessing." Because I wanted to get to the bottom why he was being so weird. That Mr. Big shit is so weird. So he said, "Thank you, but to answer your question, of course not. I knew of her. My decision was sporadic without deep thought." I said, "And what made you call it off?" He said, I was more focused on the physical beauty versus did we have a real connection. The energy was off. The most important thing I learned is always follow your intuition." I said, "Oh, well, I know all about sporadic marriages, but either way, I'm glad you found peace." He said, "That little voice that screams loud in our heart, and yet we still ignore it." I said, "Yeah, it happens. Don't I know it?" He said, "Despite the circumstances, you have a beautiful life growing inside you. All you could do is continue to be dope and be the best mother you could be. But I'm not going to lie. You telling me you're pregnant kind of shook my soul. You were the only person that was able to see right through me. Maybe that's what scared me the most." I said, "It's really unfortunate, but timing is everything. I would have loved to learn and grow together, but it didn't work out that way, unfortunately. And here I am filing for divorce from a DL ninja. Such is life." He said, "Not too many people could walk this earth and can look themselves in the mirror confidently and know who they are, but you can. That's why I respected you, little in stature, but a heart of a giant and a fierce like a dragon. This is just one hiccup in your beautiful journey, so don't let this dim your light. And if that child comes out with your brains, he or she is going to conquer the world." I said, I've worked hard so I can handle this, but this is not how I saw this going. But again, a sporadic marriage. It is what it is. He said, listen, stop blaming yourself. You just try to do things the right way. He was a wolf in sheep's clothing. I said, yeah, he was, but I'm going to move forward. Life isn't over. He said, absolutely. That's what I'm trying to say. Your light is so bright, it's going to take a lot to dim it. And this situation is not one of them. Another day, I was covering psych at the hospital. I saw a little boy die of pneumonia. He'll never get a chance to go on his first date, never get a chance to learn to drive a car. That's what keeps me humble and optimistic. I said, God, that's really sad. He said, it's sad, but we need those reminders so we know who's really in charge and to appreciate life that we have, even if we may think it's fucked up. I said, it's true, I agree. He said, you got this, baby girl. Then he sent me, I said, thanks. And then he sent me those emojis. I told him, go have a kid and come back. And then I said, that was a joke. He said, maybe I have another one with you. I said, anything is possible. So I thought on it long and hard, and then I sent him this morning. I said, I was literally thinking all night, why would you wait until I'm pregnant and file for divorce? You literally played games for 5 years. But what I wanted to tell you is that there's no perfect situation. I don't know what the situation was with your ex that you were engaged to, but you clearly saw something in her. You're sure it's not worth savaging now that you're healed? And then I said, honestly, that doesn't even matter. Since we last spoke, I still own the house that I'm in and bought 4 more in Baltimore with my sister. I tried to do the marriage and kids thing and I tried to do the marriage and kids thing the right way, but my husband had other plans. I would like to be remarried and have more children within the next 2 years, but I understand that not every man is interested in raising another man's child. But if it's something you could even consider, maybe we could work something out. If not, I understand, because it is a responsibility. I wish you the best on your quest in finding your life partner. So I see y'all over there asking for updates and stuff. So the difference between my story and a Risa Tisa story is my story is literally happening in real time. So there'll be stuff that I want to tell y'all and I can't tell y'all about it because it's currently an open court case. I literally was just arrested for this December 19th. Me and this man just got married in July. All this stuff began in August. This is over the course of the last few months that everything in my story took place, and we're still experiencing it in real time. So as things happen, I tell y'all, but I can't tell you the story because the story's still panning out. So let me tell you what's coming up this week, just so y'all can be prepared. So Monday this week, I have my first doctor's appointment for the baby. My first obstetrician appointment. I've had OBGYN appointments. And then Wednesday, me and him are going to court because we both have restraining orders on each other. So, like I said, it's still in progress. I'll let y'all know. I'll give y'all updates from here, from things that happen. But yeah, for the most part, other than that, I just been in the house, trying to deal. Pregnancy emotionally has been very difficult for me, especially going through what I'm going through. I didn't expect that. So every day I just wake up and I try to find things to keep me occupied to make it through my day. And that's just it. I'm still going through a little bit of depression. And I'm in a very emotional state because I'm pregnant. So I think this weekend I'm going to take a break from social media just because, I see all y'all comments and stuff, unless something happens, because y'all know I'm going to update y'all. But I see all y'all comments and stuff, but sometimes some of the negative ones, it does take a toll on me a little bit because y'all don't got to keep telling me I was dumb. I told y'all I was dumb. Y'all ain't got to keep telling me that. I know. I know I did stupid shit. I get it. Y'all don't have to tell me, I should have picked a better father for my kid. I get it. I made a mistake, and if you think that I don't feel guilty enough about that already, trust me, I do. I don't need constant reminders of the things that I did wrong. I know, it's crazy because I know so many people, it's a million baby mamas in the world who picked horrible fathers for their kid. I'm not saying that I want to be like them or my goal was to be that, because it wasn't, but shit happens, unfortunately life happens. I can't change it. No, I'm not getting an abortion. This is my life. I'm just dealing with my life. Anyways, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Oh, and I discovered the block button too, because I typically wasn't blocking. I've never blocked people on this app, but I discovered the block button. So if you being a little too rude or a little bit too mean or a little bit too nasty, I just delete and block. It's nothing. Again, the main thing I want to drive home is all of this happened within the course of a few months.
if you've never been through a traumatic experience, everybody wants to say what they would do if they were in a traumatic experience that they've never been in. Like, everybody wants to say, well, if this person did this, until you're in that situation, it's just like when women get SA and it's like, why didn't you tell anyone? It's kind of like, you don't know what you'll do. Yes, trauma isn't a straight line. Okay, it's not like, oh, and when you experience trauma, you're supposed to do this, and your brain will exactly tell you to do that, and you'll respond this way because everything's logical when you're in a traumatic experience. No, trauma doesn't work that way. Sometimes it takes you a second. Sometimes it takes you a second to snap out of it. Sometimes it takes you a second to snap into it. Unfortunately, in the midst of a traumatic experience, I made bad decisions. Like, it happens to the best of us. Anyways, y'all enjoy y'all day, enjoy y'all weekend, and I'll talk to y'all later. So I'm about to run to brunch with my best friend. I threw on the robe because a couple of my followers said that y'all don't recognize me without the robe. I don't know, child. But look how sweet. Like, so my best friend and my sister showed up yesterday to force me out of the house. Child, I need water. To force me out of the house and took me to brunch or whatever else. And the craziest part about this whole scenario is that my whole life, I've made certain choices and like been so careful because I really, really believed I was alone. And if I made a mistake or if I got into a situation that I would have to deal with it alone with no support. And the amount of love and support I've received from my family and friends and just everyone around me, like everyone doting on me and making sure that I'm okay and checking up on me all through the day and pulling up on me. My cousins popped up here the night before last twerking. Like, I'm in disbelief. Like, I spent so much time allowing people that didn't deserve access to me to have access to me, only to find that, you know, the love that I thought I didn't have, I had all along. And that, to me, is the most eye-opening experience of this journey. I see all y'all questions in the comments. I'm going to answer a lot of the questions later this week. I'm blocked from live till Friday, so I'll be going live later this week. Friday night, once I'm off of being blocked from live. But like, to those who have been supportive and kind, I appreciate it. To those who have been either mean or nasty or unkind, I hope trauma never finds you. Because it'll be worse because you think that certain things can't happen to you. All right, Bentley. All right.
Oh, you ready?
But anyways, y'all, have a great day. All right, y'all, I'm going to share something with you. Like, y'all going to be like, what the fuck? It's not that serious, but I don't care. It's my first time and I'm so excited. So this is my body normally. Like, I'm a gym rat. I'm usually in the gym 5 days a week. I have abs, booty sitting, booty pokes out. Okay, ass sitting. Body's all toned. But y'all look. This smear's a little dusty, but I just want to show you. I obviously don't have a bump yet. But like when I turn to the side, my abs are gone. You could see like there's something forming. My booty's still poking out a little bit, but like, look y'all, something's coming through. Here she's showing up. My abs are gone. Like, that bitch said we taking that first, but look y'all. Oh, I'm so excited. Y'all, this is really happening. It's my first baby. I'm so excited. Even with all the turmoil and everything going on, I'm so excited. Everyone in my family thinks it's a girl because I haven't had any morning sickness. Thank God. I haven't had any morning sickness. That, like, I was so afraid of that. So everyone thinks it's a girl. So I've already started calling her baby girl. But I'm cool with baby boy, too. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend.
All right, TikTok cousins, I'm back with another update. Y'all were right about the doctor. Y'all were right. Those of you that said he was full of shit, I mean. So honestly, after I came on TikTok and I was like telling y'all about it and asked y'all opinions, I kind of freaked out. And I was like, let me check his temperature because I'm in a vulnerable space right now and I might not be thinking clearly. So let me just see something. So I threw a couple of tests out there just to see what his response will be. I said, I don't know what I was thinking. You do this every year. Maybe pregnancy, maybe have a lapse in judgment for a second. But I've also known the games you play. Like I said, I'm glad you found peace. But as I told you in the past, I don't need to be checked on. Just to see what his response would be, right? He goes, I understand. Sorry for caring, FYI. Red flag. Because it's already giving manipulation, right? I redacted some of this because there's some private stuff in here, but he said before something happened, I thought you were perfect. Like I said, I was in a dark place and I was just trying to find myself. So whatever happened between us, I take full responsibility. Happy New Year's, and I wish you nothing but the best, beautiful. There's also value in friendship. Everything that happens in our life doesn't have to be a sad ending. Yeah, stop playing in my face, okay? So I said, look, doctor, I honestly am in a very vulnerable space right now. So if your intentions are pure, just leave me alone. He said, I know you got a lot going on right now. I'm just saying, as a friend, I'm here if you need. You full of shit. I said, let's be honest. We aren't friends and have never been. That's not sad. That just is what it is. I have no feelings about it. It sounds like you found yourself. I'm glad for you. Good luck with everything. And he said, okay. So to me, it could have been a multitude of things. It could have been that he hit me up honestly in the beginning. And then once he heard that I was pregnant and what I was going through was no longer like interested like that. It could have been that he was checking my temperature to see if I would still be, even though the last couple years, I haven't seen this guy in years, like almost 3-4 years. And he hits me up every year, maybe a couple times a year. And I tell him to get the hell out of my face every time. So maybe he was checking to see if he could, I don't know, if he caught me in a moment where he could maneuver in this time. It could be he was just looking for a little poom poom. Either way, I got enough shit going on and I ain't going, okay? Also, there's a good chance that he saw like the social media, the viral videos, and he already knew what was going on because someone else pointed out one of my TikTok cousins pointed out that I was saying things about the situation and he wasn't asking questions. Like if you say, oh, I just caught, I got, since we spoke, I got married, got pregnant, and I caught my husband cheating with men. Typically, someone's going to have a couple questions. He asked no questions. So that was suspicious. I agree. All in all, I got him the fuck out of here. See y'all. I'm not like this with everybody. I just was slow with one particular person. My judgment was off. Okay. Now, a lot of y'all, one thing I wanted to address, a lot of y'all are making comments about not keeping the baby. And I understand the thought process, but I want to ask y'all this. Now, I know I brought the baby in what I thought wouldn't, honestly, I thought me and this guy would have been able to work through our issues and fight for our marriage, even despite what I was uncovering, because like I said, I was delusional and in denial. But I want to ask the question, because right now I'm not in a financial struggle. I have my own house. I feel like I know I'm equipped to take care of a baby. Should you get an abortion every time the father is not perfect? Like a lot of us had bad fathers. Like being gay is not a crime. It's not, being gay doesn't make you a bad person. Being gay doesn't determine that you'll be a bad father. I believe he'd be a bad father because he's not a good person. But a lot of us have fathers that weren't good people. So do y'all feel like we should have all been aborted? Because despite whatever issues my family or my parents had, I'm glad that I'm here. Like I've had an amazing life. I mean, even up until this point, even now, my life is not bad. I'm going through something, but my life is not bad. I think I have a pretty good life. I'm very, very, very blessed. So yeah, I wanted to know that. Do y'all feel like every adult walking around that had a bad father should have been aborted? Anyways, y'all, I know y'all been asking me for hair videos. I don't have a retwist right now, but like I'm gonna do one eventually. And also, I put up an Amazon baby registry. It's not like really like, there's not a lot of things on it. There's a few things on it, but there's a lot of things on it. So for anybody that wants to check it out, I would appreciate anything. Like nobody owes me anything. I only posted it because some people were saying, put up a registry. So yeah, I put it up. It's the link is in my TikTok bio. But y'all, anyways, like I said, I've been listening. Okay. I got the doctor the fuck up out of here. I'm getting stronger every day. And that's another thing. So, everybody's asking, like, not everybody, a lot of people are in my DMs asking how I'm doing mentally, which I appreciate because there's been a lot of judgment, like people on their high horses or whatever, and like, no one understands. Like, I've been in depression for months. It's something that I'm still currently fighting, and I wouldn't have chose this. So for those that are like, oh, she knew she did this, blah, blah, blah. Trust me, I had a great life before. I'm talking about like, my best friends are celebrities. We travel the world together. Like my bank account is in a great space. Like I don't have a 9 to 5. I work for myself and I work from home. Like I had a great life before this. Like I had a cute little roster, so I would not have chosen this. I just made bad decisions, which happens. So like, yeah, I fight depression. I don't leave my house a lot. I just try to deal with, and it's not, and I don't know if it's like the pregnancy hormones either. It could be, that could be part of the reason, but I just do my best to make it through every day. And that's all I can do. Hopefully, I know eventually I'll be past this and this will be a thing of the past. But yeah, every single day I work to become better, to get my mind better. I've also been looking into therapy. I've taken y'all, so a lot of y'all advice about individual therapy. And yeah, I'm just trying to move forward. I know all of y'all believe that y'all are perfect and don't make mistakes, or like my mistake has been bigger than y'all, but I made it to 37 years old with no kids, no baby daddies, a successful career, multiple houses, great long-term friendships. I think I'm doing all right, even with this little misstep. So, especially with my background. So, I don't really, what happened, and I'm just moving forward. Now, what I should have been doing, I probably should have been talking to my friends more about what was going on with me, but like, I guess I just didn't think they would understand, and maybe they would judge. I don't know. I made a bunch of missteps. Either way, we here now, and we gonna be all right. Y'all check out my baby registry. Have an amazing day, y'all. Thank y'all for listening to me again rant. So, y'all, I was sitting here reminiscing on the text messages that were going back and forth between me and BB after I caught him. And child, like, when I say I was going through shit, I was going through shit. Like, just, y'all take a look. Him, I'm excited to see you again. I want to give you a big hug and squeeze your bum. I guess he was at work. Me, and this is like right after. So this is how shocked I was in. I'm not happy about what I saw on your phone, and I'm still getting over it. You are the one that gave license to this shit. You are the one that handed out the audacity and then acting like you keep me safe. How is that? His response, I know, baby. It's very disturbing. I'm disturbed as well. I will change my number when I can. I know, but it will take time for you to say, but your safety is the utmost importance. I love you. So y'all keep saying, well, how did you sleep with him? How did you sleep with him? Baby, I wasn't sleeping with him. Okay? I wasn't. Like, he would try and I would run. Like, so here's a response. The night before, when he tried and I got the hell away from him, I texted him. He had an attitude after. I texted him. I said, I'm about to stop being nice to you altogether. Because the minute that I'm nice to you, you start walking around being goofy and acting entitled because you ain't used to shit. Walking around like you the man around this motherfucker. Yeah, the man who's rainbow. You like dudes. Get that through your head. And you've been acting weird since last night. I don't owe you Smex. I don't owe you Top. I don't owe you shit. We could stop effing altogether as far as I'm concerned. F you thought. I just saw you plowing a man's pussy and trying to while we were together. What part of that do you think is going to have me turned on all the time in this moment? Are you dumb? Stupid messages like this of me trying to be supportive of him after I call him. But your job seems like there's a lot of opportunity. I know you want to make a lot of money fast. I get it. But that just is not how it works. If Sebastian can be a GM, so can you. I know it's frustrating because you are 34 and you want more work-life balance, but you took some detours in life and you effed off a good amount of time. 20s is the age group where you have the energy and you just want to make money to hang out and live under your parents. And this would have been good for that then. And then you would have got that promotion and been 30 as a GM. But you're starting a little late, so we got to bite the bullet a little. But I know it will pay off. The great thing is that you lucked up and you have support. Me being a supportive wife after I caught him. Like, I was going through it, y'all. I caught him August 16th, September 12th. Send me the voicemail because I didn't even want to talk at this time. And I was going back and forth in my head. I know so she said, send me the voicemail. I said, I know you're at work right now, but there is hope for us. You didn't commit the act. Despite the fact that you tried and failed, you didn't commit it. It breaks my heart that you tried, and it makes me feel like I'm not enough. But we just have to keep going to therapy and trying to work through this. I don't care what your sexuality is. I care that you were disloyal to me. That really hurts. But I'm going to promise you this. If I ever find you even attempted or thought about doing some BS like that again, I will leave. There won't be any conversation. There won't be any discussion. And I don't care how many kids we have. I will leave. He said, okay, baby, there hasn't and would never be. I never would hurt you again. I have to do a set and I'll text you after. When I asked you about the Chuck thing, you looked so crushed and ashamed for even engaging in those things before me, to the point that I actually felt bad for you and felt guilty for even asking the question, just for you to be married to me and cheating with other men a month later. Where's your conscience? He says, wasn't there. I know that. I'm ashamed. I know actions are stronger than words, but I'm not that person. I don't want to be. I love my wife. I said, did you not love your wife then? You can see. So this was after that other message. I guess he was calling me and I said, or asking me if I wanted to go somewhere. I said, I'm honestly tired. I don't feel like going anywhere. And then I texted him back later as I was thinking, because he's at work during this time. His work shift was like 9 a.m. to like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. I said, August 16th is the day that I went through your phone. August 16th. It is September 7th, and you got the nerve to be walking around this motherfucker with all the audacity in the world, and I am appalled. I'm not in the business of jumping for joy to suck up eggplant that you were just trying to put in a dude's bussy less than a month ago. I'm sorry if that's crazy to you. Get your effing shit together. I was not jumping for joy to sleep with this guy. Another day, I'm scheduling the rest of these therapy sessions for myself, and I'm going to try to heal myself from your BS, and you can get the F out of my life. I hate you. You should have done the world a favor. And so remember when I said I was just talking crazy to him at certain points because I was going through it? You should have done the world a favor and just over whatever and effing unalived. You deactivated this iPad, right? Today is your last day at that job, and I ain't picking you up from nowhere. When you get here, your shit will be out. Get the F out. I changed the code on the front door when you get here. I want police here because I didn't want to do all this. I was talking home. Mind you, all of that I was talking, like I said, I was going through the 5 stages of grief. When he got home from work, I didn't do none of that. Like, I was just going through it, bro. Him trying to get it in with me again and me trying to avoid it. Okay, and I'm on my period. But I hate this insecure person you turn me into. I hate it. I'm miserable. All I do is try to figure out what way you're effing me over and with who. I just want to be myself again. I hate this. I want to do Miami Carnival with my friends. September 10th. I would like to try to get better, but I'm scared of you all the time. I can't even focus on anything else. I genuinely don't want you to leave, but I'm so freaked out. I don't even know what to do. Scared. Talk to me more. Tell me later, babe. I said we can save it for therapy. Now I'm back to trying to offer support. I think I was at work or filming or something. And I said, I love you so much, and I'm sorry throughout life you didn't feel seen and felt you weren't enough in certain areas. And I hate that you would have allowed those feelings of insecurity to creep into our marriage, because I was trying my hardest to help you realize that you are enough. And I hope you learn to love yourself as much as I love you and not punish me for loving you by looking for validation elsewhere and from the type of people you received it from before our marriage. He said, I love you so much too, my love. I will never, and you validate me so much by just being you. You're my perfect wife, and I love you so much, my future and my future kids and our family. November 1st, him. I can't wait to have babies with you. Me. I can't wait to have babies with you either. So what's the plan for Thanksgiving? You go to your family house and I go to mine? He said our families. We can do both together. October 16th, the day before my birthday. I just want to say that I'm super proud of you, and I'm really proud of the progress you've made in a short time. And although I can't explain it for whatever reason, I love you unconditionally. Sometimes I hate that I do because of the way you behave at times, but I just do. And it has nothing to do with Smex because I've had my fair share. But I feel like there are parts of you I understand. I know your parents love you just like I know mine loved me. But I had a dad that put poom poom before me and a mom that put drugs before me. So I know exactly what that's like. And I know exactly what you've been through having a similar situation in reverse. And I'm patient because you remind me of myself 15 years ago. You're just be kind because you spent over a decade self-medicating. And I guess in a way healing you feels good because it's like I'm healing myself in a way. But I need you to have the same level of patience with me that I have with you and just work on your empathy. I go through so much shit and I'm out here just trying to build a family better than the one I came from. And I believe I can do that with you. We're both attractive, smart, and we'll go to war for our family if need be. And those are the most important things to me. But just like I try to be mindful of your traumas, be mindful of mine. I carry a lot and I'm a warrior who's fought through a lot. I'm a person and I'm strong because I have to be. Because this world hasn't shown me that people won't take advantage of you, and that includes you. So I've never been given the space to be soft and kind. The world made me this. I love you and I'm fighting with you, not against you, even though it seems like it a lot of the time. So that was in October, and by December 17th, right 2 days before I got arrested, this is where we were. So I genuinely hate being with you, and I've done everything to try to convince myself that marrying you hasn't been the biggest mistake I've made in my life. But I'm done trying to convince myself. You don't deserve me. You don't deserve to be a part of my life. You don't deserve any of the things I do for you. You are a terrible, selfish person and the worst person I've ever been with. And I've been so in denial because I can't believe I married the worst person I ever been with. I really believe my judgment was off because I know your whole family and didn't think your family was even capable of producing someone as terrible as you are. So I let my guard down. My thought process in getting pregnant was that I'm at least going to get what I agreed to this bullshit marriage for in the first place, and I'm going to continue to fight through this for my kid. But as for you, I cannot stand you, and it gets worse every day. So the moral of the story is trauma is not a straight line. When I was in the military, like I said, they taught us about the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, and how you can jump back and forth between those stages when you're grieving something. And in this case, I was grieving what I thought was going to be a good marriage, and I was making decisions. Even when I made the choice to get pregnant, I really believed in my denial that we could still fight through whatever his issue was and build a successful, happy home for our kid, even if we had to fake it sometimes. That was my belief. Yeah, I wasn't thinking clearly, but as you can see from the text messages, I was going through shit. I was going through a great deal of trauma and trying to rationalize and trying to make sense of it. And yeah, it doesn't make sense to you guys because you guys haven't experienced it, but I can tell you as someone that went through it, like, it wasn't like I saw things in his phone and I was like, huh, well, that's okay. I went through some shit. It's just that simple. Y'all have a great day. Today's my first baby appointment, y'all. So y'all have a great day. Yeah, TTY.
So everyone keeps asking the question, why did I choose to get pregnant after everything that I learned? Why did I choose to get pregnant after everything I learned? For one, I keep saying trauma is not a straight line, right? When you find something out that's extremely traumatic, you don't react instantly. So it took me like 3 months for it to hit me that I'm married to somebody that's this way, okay? And that's another thing. I don't know if people think that boyfriend and husband are the same thing. It's a very different situation. You can't slap 5 and be out of a marriage. A lot of times, divorce takes longer than getting married. Getting married, you just go to the courthouse to get married. If you have somebody contesting and tries to fight you or whatever, that shit can take years. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt been getting a divorce for 7 years. 7 years they've been fighting, and they just settled their divorce. I'm 37 right now, and I'm married to him. So a lot of you are suggesting that I should have waited to divorce my husband, however long that should take, and then go out there and find someone else who I know nothing about and get pregnant by them. So that getting pregnant by a stranger at 40 could work, or I could just get pregnant by my husband. Now, granted, he's not the best person, but whoever I chose to get married to after him, because I'm on a tight clock, I don't know who that person's going to be either. Even when you go to the sperm bank, they can tell you whatever they want to tell you, but you don't know whose sperm you're actually getting. You know whose sperm they tell you that you're getting. You can look it up right now. There's been lawsuits. There was a white lesbian couple who went to a sperm bank, got pregnant, chose a white baby, and their baby came out biracial. And they sued the sperm bank. You don't know whose sperm you're getting. Also, a lot of people are asking, why didn't I use my frozen eggs? Frozen eggs are not a guarantee, okay? So a lot of times, you can look it up. It happened to Kourtney Kardashian. You get your eggs frozen, and then they don't survive the thaw. So it costs a lot of money to use those eggs, and then it's not guaranteed to actually implant and work. Now, I get it. A lot of people on here are young, and a lot of people on here have never been married. But if I were to go out right now and get pregnant by another man, my husband, who is already not the greatest, would have claims to that baby. Because anytime that you have a child while you're married, the paternity is automatically goes to that man. I got tested before. I made him get tested before I got pregnant. I got tested before I got pregnant. And then I got pregnant by my husband. As fucked up as he is, he's my husband. We're married. Okay?